I'm once again butt ass naked telling this story in my goddamn orange striped boxers. But how was y'all week, man? I think I had a pretty sick week. I made friends with what our school calls a school shooter, but you know, he's pretty nice. He's been teaching me how to draw and shit, so that's pretty cool. But furthermore, question of the day from my man Dre. You just hit the bong with your boys, now your stone asses are walking to the 7-Eleven. What you getting? Let me know in the comments. I haven't told a first time story in a minute, and the other ones I told need a retell like bad because I did not do them justice at all. That's pretty much all I really had to say. Thank y'all for coming out. I mean, we just hit another milestone. SP gang is getting stronger by the day. I love y'all all with my Negro heart. But without further ado, grab your blunts, grab your snacks, and let's get straight into this video. I remember this story like it was yesterday because I was indeed high off my rocker. Zah had me singing Moon by Kanye West with my chest out. So it started off as a normal day. I had been staying out of trouble, you know, trying to be a good kid, and I had took a break from smoking, and all I had really been smoking was nicotine. Like a lot of my other stories, I just so happened to be hanging out with Chris on this fateful day. So me and Chris are chilling at the crib, right? And as you know from what I stated earlier, I was a little Nick fiend. Sadly, I had no nicotine, which was a tragedy, you know? I always gotta have my nicotine. So Chris, he came up with this bright idea to head over to my homie James' house. James is a character that isn't usually in my stories, but he's in a lot of them in the future, which you'll have to stay tuned for. Please subscribe, I'll tap dance on you. Before we get into when I got there, I want to get some background on James. James was a friend at the time that I had only met a few times until like we became great friends. But this was before we got close in present day. I had really only just started to think this dude was cool. All I really knew about him was like he liked to smoke weed and have fun and always had nicotine, which is good enough for me. He's my cool gay homie, which is always good to have. So we head over to James' house. I hop on my skateboard. Chris didn't have one at the time because like he got one eventually. So like he just walked on the side of me and we take a good 20-minute trip to James' house. When I get there, it's a pretty new environment to me. I mean, I had only been there for like 3 times. So I was nervous. When we get into the house, everything is pretty chill. I mean, we got my man Jaden. They're always with the good vibes, man. I shake up with everybody in the house, say hi to that lovely grandma, and I get my fucking auto hit, which was what I came there for, which was fucking refreshing. But then, I reach into my pocket and I realize, hey, I got some fucking money. This damn prompt me to buy my own personal cancer stick vape device. Chris is all for it, and he's hyped because he knows I'll let him bump some hits off of me. This all leads up to Chris then asking me if I wanted to spend the night at James' house. This was the start of some great stories that you'll hear in the future, like throwing rocks at crackheads. So I was skeptical about spending the night there because I hardly go to anyone's house to spend the night other than Chris's. But I agree because like I really wanted this nicotine. That's the nicotine fiend in me. So we wait a while. We're just chilling around James's house until I then asked James if he could go into his grandma's room and ask her if she could bring us to the store and go buy some goddamn nicotine. And guess what she said, bro? She said goddamn yes. The fuck, bro? You thought we was finna be on some sad shit? We then wait 5 to 10 minutes for his grandma to get ready so we can head to the store. That time comes, we hop in the car and we take that trip down to the gas station. When we get there, I'm paranoid as fuck, bro. Thinking my dad is gonna be lurking around the corner, looking for his little old son, buying that forbidden gas. But something else happened. The grandma goes into the store to grab my Nick, and I end up staying in the car because of paranoia. And tell me why I see my fucking ex-girlfriend walking out the fucking store with her grandma, and I have a little panic moment, I'm not gonna lie. But I get myself together, and after a good minute, I tell her, hey, tell me why she then runs to the car and ignores me. Fuck that bitch, I hate you. She couldn't mess with a prestige pimp like me anyways. Carrying on, old grandmama comes out the store with my nicotine, and you know, we got that high, not rechargeable, sadly, spearmint. Shit tastes like you chewing the freshest gum you just bummed off that same girl for the 5th time this week. After all this, we then have a nice drive back. I'm feeling accomplished. I'm feeling great. Chris got an air bar raspberry, which was dope. And Jaden and Chris and I are just having a little Nick session in the back seat of the car. So we get back home. It's about the nighttime at this point. I say around 10 o'clock. And I'm finally able to relax after being so heartbroken after seeing my ex. No, it's been 3 years. Get over it. Never. After I relax for a little bit, I'm looking where everybody at. but it was like they all disappeared. So I go outside and I don't see nobody. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, did they all leave? That's when I then go to the side of the house and there's a broken car there. I walk to it, open it up, and everybody, Chris, Jaden, James, smoke is coming out of it and it smells like straight gas. It seemed like they were having a little get together, a little hot box. Like I listed earlier in the story, I was on a tea break, so I was kinda nervous to smoke because I had been being good lately, but something told my ass I was gonna smoke. So I hop in the car with them, trying to not let out too much smoke, ruin the vibes, because you definitely don't want to be that guy who ruined a hot box. And I'm sitting down, I'm on my phone, listening to music, minding my own goddamn business. Chris then has this devious look on his face. He lets out the words, "Noah, you should definitely smoke." Even though his ass knew damn well I was on a break and his ass wasn't smoking either. I said, "No, I'm on a break." And I hit him with a classic counter. My parents might drug test me soon, but then he tests me. He hit me with that line, "Noah, are you pussy?" I say back, "No, why don't you smoke?" And he just ignored it like that. Nigga, if you gonna be hitting me with these accusations, your ass should at least be smoking too. So now I say fuck it. James is cheering me on, talking about, "Noah, you should definitely come smoke. Son, don't be a pussy." I'm like, fine. Niggas, I'll do it. Peer pressure at its finest. Peer pressure at its finest. I'll say it for all the ninjas in the back one more time. Peer pressure at its finest. So I take that bitch. I had no clue what I was doing, to be real, but James guides me through it, and he's telling me I just suck the bong until the smoke comes out. He even pulls the bowl out for me when I'm done smoking to make it easier for me. How nice. It was a pretty nice piece too. It had a nice look to it. It was pretty basic, which made it cooler to me. It was like a clear glass bong. I took that bitch. I don't believe I coughed because I have the lungs of steel. But I didn't clear it, but I went back for round 2 to finish it. We then finished up smoking. Chris and Jaden had left the hot box at this point, and I'm like, bro, what's the strain? I wasn't used to smoking good weed, so I had no clue what he was even talking about. He then lets out the most scariest lines my high ass has ever heard. It's train wreck. I ain't know what the fuck that was, but all I knew was it didn't sound good. I was not getting into any train wrecks on this fine night, gentlemen. I was going to a Juice WRLD concert off this planet to see Lord Jesus himself. When those words left his mouth, my high ass instantly turned into fear, which, if you've never been high, at least for me, it amplifies and the shit is 10 times scarier. I'm like, bro, I knew my ass should have never smoked train wreck. Bro, why didn't you tell me? James then trying to calm me down, but I wasn't having it. I was dead ass convinced I was finna die on this fine night. He then had to go into a 20-minute discussion explaining to me the difference between sativas and indicas, which it did calm me down, but I was so high, all I could do was sit in the car and listen to fucking background music. 4-hour loop, the song was Rooftop to be exact. The weed was a 10 out of 10 though. I was really chill and relaxed, and it was great bonding time with me and James, which is probably why we such good friends today. That's the power of Mother Nature. Zah. My night ended up being pretty good, to be real. They pulled a prank on me and they told me my dad had pulled up and I needed to go outside and talk to him. When I tell you tweaked out my ninja, I was about to fake sleep and tell that ninja to take his black ass home, disrupting my high. Well, I got the worst ass whooping of my life. They fucked up for that. I still got PTSD. Chris should have smoked with me, but we not gonna get into that. Peer pressure, bitch, my friends. But I ended up my night off by laying down on the sofa, listening to that fucking loop. I don't know what it is, bro, but that chill ass music just makes me feel so good. Alright, and that's pretty much the end of the story. Leave a like if you like bald men, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the story. I'll be back next week. See you soon. This is SenpaiNoah, signing off. Peace.
Love it, she crippin' too, punching out chippin' too. From mother to the youth, for the code, that's the truth. Walking through pendles on me, unaffected, you see. I'm ascended from breed, unsymmetrical, static, electrical, coming reciprocal. I'm working mystical, by statistical. Yes, I'm a bone, that's correct. Gotta come clean up my chest. I'm feeling real like a vet. Brought it the most since I kept. Do not hide your feelings. To myself, couldn't risk anyone's health. Useless, book on the shelf. Percentage of damage I dealt. Treacherous, rambling, unstable handling. With his decisions, I question me channeling. Quote unquote loyalty, all 54C. Crazy as hell, it's unethically hard to see.
What the fuck is you talk about? Talk about me, what the fuck do you think? That little boy on the brink, I'ma giant you insane. Who you talk about me? No, you ain't with the team. It's your body or D. Only coming to me cause that little bitch in need. Yo.